What's up, world? It's P.SO checking in with Nerd Era, and we have a new Nerdcast for you. Happy holidays. I have a special guest with me, my man Kevito Clarke.
Hola, everybody. Hola.
Representing
BK to the floor.
Representing Don't Lose Your Day Job, content creator. And we have some interesting things to talk about. And I want to talk about SpiderMan and Sony. And just to update you guys, I'm sure you guys probably have seen the news, but a lot of people are aware of this. Sony has been hacked. The Guardians of the Peace, as they refer to themselves as, have hacked Sony. And a lot of emails and different things have emerged as a result of the Sony hack. And a lot of Spider-Man news has emerged. And a lot of fans have wanted Spider-Man to come over to Marvel Studios. As you may or may not know, Spider-Man belongs to Sony. And Marvel Studios obviously owns the Avengers. And fans want to see Spider-Man come over to an Avengers movie. But that can't happen unless Sony releases the rights to Marvel. So my question here for this quick little topic, this discussion is, what should Sony do with Spider-Man? And I kind of want to ask Kevito, because he kind of has a good insight to these type of things. If you were an exec of Sony, if you were Amy Pascal, and the Sony leaks have come out, and you've heard all these things about Spider-Man, what would be your main course of action? And also, if you're Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, what would you want to do with Spider-Man, and how would you try to make this happen?
If I was Amy Pascal, I would share Spider-Man. I would share Spider-Man.
Yeah, you good.
I would share Spider-Man to Sony. I said that 3 times if you didn't hear me.
Sorry, I got it.
Why? Because the property is still bankable. It's a box office hit. There's money in the franchise. So with what Marvel has coming up on their slate, it makes perfect sense to let Spider-Man go back to Marvel for at least 4 to 6 pictures. That'd be crazy. And you know it would be such a good idea because of the marketed potential of the last Spider-Man franchise that you guys did with Andrew Garfield. So it's like, you don't even have to let Andrew Garfield play as Spider-Man in Marvel because it's their own studio. They can cast for Spider-Man who you want to see. It could be Miles Morales. It could be anybody from the Spider-Verse. It could be Spider-Gwen. And that's a little bit reaching, but it could become a situation where you're seeing all your favorites go back to Marvel and really elevate that property to another level. Your kids will be like, this was our Star Wars, Imagine Wolverine getting the chance to go back and do a wartime picture flashback with Captain America, Steve Rogers, or him and Black Panther going on a mission for Secret Avengers. Like, the possibilities are limitless. But if I was Kevin, this is already a plan that he has for the next 10 years, 10, 15 years, 2022. I don't know what it says. Sorry. Have a lot of potential to make some really great movies, Imagine Wolverine versus Hulk live action with Mark Ruffalo versus Hugh Jackman. I mean, sounds like it writes itself, right? But those are my thoughts.
All right, that's interesting. I can agree with some of that. I can disagree. Allow me to retort. Here's my issue. If you let Marvel let Spider-Man into their universe, right? Now, are you going to still let Sony do solo Spider-Man films? So
Andrew Garfield can still star in his... Sorry. Andrew Garfield can star in his own Sony pictured, sponsored cinematic films, But that doesn't have any bearing on the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So, is there going to be a different actor playing Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe?
Of course. Yes, I agree.
So you're going to have 2 actors play Spider-Man at the same time?
Shared billing. I mean, it won't be on the marquee, but it will be something that everybody can watch.
Why not just have Andrew Garfield play Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe?
That's up to Amy Pascal, honestly. But, I mean, that's up to them. He's their actor. It's as simple as saying, who back in the 1920s? Hugh Grant, not Hugh Grant. I'm messing it up, but there was a gentleman whose name I can't recall, but he was a signed artist to. You can even go as far as Charlie Chaplin, but he had his own studio, and those pictures were his. You know. No.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I think an easier way. I have a couple of options. I think they should recast Spider-Man. I think that Sony should split the rights with Marvel. Sony does solo Spider-Man films. Marvel can only use Spider-Man in team-up films. So the only a solo Spider-Man film will be produced by Sony. A Spider-Man team-up film will be produced by Marvel. Marvel gets to recast the actor, and they can use him in anything. Because I know Sony is not going to outright sell Spider-Man. I think that's just out of the question. If that were to be the case, that would be the optimum scenario where Sony just completely gives the rights to Spider-Man completely over to Marvel. I don't think that's going to happen. They're still going to want to have their hands on it. So I think this is the best of both worlds. I also feel like Marvel shouldn't even care about Peter Parker. I think they should just go after Miles Morales. I think they should go after Miles Morales, try to introduce that character into the universe, and say screw Peter Parker. Let them do whatever they want with Peter Parker. What do you feel about that?
I agree. That's a great idea. That would get a chance for the young boy to shine. Could potentially be played by John Boyega, and he's hot with the Star Wars picture. Pause, as the young kids say. Having Miles would open up another interesting segue to like Punisher.
All right, last question since we're going to wrap it up. And this is actually kind of like a combo question. The next solo Spider-Man film, who do you want, aside from, assuming Andrew Garfield is no longer in the running, because I think he's out. I think he's basically left Sony because of all the email stuff, and pretty much he's out. Mm-hmm. So, assuming Andrew Garfield is out of the picture, next solo Spider-Man film, who do you want to play Spider-Man? What do you want the story to be? And who do you want the villain to be?
You bring Tobey Maguire back.
You want to bring Tobey Maguire back?
He's been in the gym.
He's been in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. So, 40-year-old Tobey Maguire playing Spider-Man. So you're not gonna, want to reboot him maybe as a teenager and start from there. No, you want to go straight to older Spider-Man.
I mean, it's a good time to catch up. Everybody else is older. Tony's older.
But why would you bring back an actor that already played Spider-Man? Isn't that gonna kind of confuse audiences and whatnot?
Was he in the first three?
Yeah, but I mean, why not start fresh? This is an opportunity to take your own spin on Spider-Man, for Marvel to completely, cast him in their universe. Why even attach yourself to the massacre that was Sony?
Didn't they do that with Andrew Garfield?
What do you mean they didn't do that? They
reboot.
They rebooted, but that was Sony once again rebooting, and they didn't do a great job of it. I'm saying Marvel, assuming they're going to do a better job, when it makes sense for them to choose a different actor.
I thought your question was asked about Sony.
Yeah, I did ask. Well, I did, assuming that Sony's going to produce the next Spider-Man film. Mm-hmm. I asked you, who do you want to star as Spider-Man? And you said Tobey Maguire.
Right.
And I'm just saying, isn't that a little bit weird considering that
he was in the first three? That doesn't make any sense. He can play it.
Okay.
He knows that role.
All right. And his age doesn't bother you?
Nah, because, we can do a lot of things with CGI.
All right. Okay. Respect that. All right. What do you want the story to be about, and who do you want the villain to be? I guess that's the same kind of question.
Story. If it's at Sony, they can do something with Fantastic Four. That would be cool.
Well, Fox has the rights to Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn, they got to get on board too. Look at these Marvel characters back in Marvel. No Fantastic Four. Maybe that's all they really got. X-Men. They can do an X-Men team up.
Fox also has X-Men as well.
Damn, Fox has them both.
Why are you trying to build a team-up film? This is a solo Spider-Man film, and you want him to team up?
He's 40, you understand?
It's like, when he's like geriatric Spider-Man, he's got like a walker made of web shooters, and
wait up, guys.
And the villain is
Carnage.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, you want Tobey Maguire to team with the Fantastic Four to fight Carnage. All right.
That's like that's an overpowered team.
I have to say, in all fairness, I'm glad you're not an executive at Sony, because that sounds like the worst Spider-Man movie ever.
I go see it.
I, on the other hand, as far as who to play Spider-Man, obviously I'm still going for Miles Morales. And if I went with Miles Morales, I would want Donald Glover to play him. I think that's a pretty simple, look at it. But if we are doing Peter Parker, man, I actually don't really care. I just want somebody who's young. That's it, because I want to go with a younger Peter Parker. So I just want somebody who's young who can play the role for a while. I don't know, maybe Zac Efron or something. The story, I want Kraven's Last Hunt. I really like Kraven's Last Hunt. If we're not doing Kraven's Last Hunt,
that would say he's in Sinister Six, right?
I'm not even beholden to any of that Sinister Six crap. Like, I feel like Sinister Six can come. I feel like Venom and Carnage can come. I feel like Venom needs to be established in his own film first. Venom is a deep enough character and has enough layers that we can do a Venom solo film. We don't have to introduce him as Spider-Man. And that'll make it more exciting for when he does fight Venom. And then maybe when Spider-Man meets Venom, that's when we can introduce Carnage as the real villain. I'm thinking down the line how to build this new Spider-Man universe, and I want to kind of forget about all the crap that happened before, as opposed to you who wants to bring back Tobey Maguire, puppy dog face Peter Parker.
It won't be Spider-Man 3. No, it'll be Spider-Man 2 at best.
Okay, so you think that Tobey Maguire's a better Peter Parker than Andrew Garfield?
No, I can't co-sign that.
So why not just use Andrew Garfield then?
You said he left.
Right, I did say that.
So if Andrew's not on the table, then yeah, Tobey Maguire. He's the other guy who plays.
You don't want to just recast him with somebody new?
I can't tell you one possible person I would have as that role. Zac Efron, I wouldn't do it. That's just a little bit too much. Nah. I mean, nah. Haven't you seen That Awkward Moment?
No, I haven't seen it.
That has Zac Efron, Miles Teller, and Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
He doesn't hold a candle to Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan in that movie.
Well, I thought he was really funny neighbors.
Different setup.
Still, though, I mean, it's all about the writing and the direction.
Writing's usually in those pictures for comic books is a little bit of element of dramatics. So
yeah, I'm not completely sold on the Zac Efron thing either. I'm just saying somebody like around his age, like around his build, kind of with his look.
Do you have any suggestions?
They had some actors. I was online looking at some, and I don't know this guy's name. There's some kid who I saw who's you know who I would love actually, but this wouldn't make any sense. But the actor who plays the Flash in the Flash television show, okay. I would love for him, somebody like him. You know what I mean?
I gotta watch the Flash. I only seen the trailer in episode 2.
It's kind of funny. He looks kind of like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, he's lanky. Like that's kind of the setup. And it has to be funny. Has to be able to emote without the face.
Well, in January they're gonna have the Spidey Summit where Spider-Man's fate is going to be decided, and I pretty much think it's a done deal that Spider-Man is gonna show up in Marvel film. I just don't think it's gonna be soon. I think that Sony's gonna split the rights. I think that Marvel's gonna be allowed to use Spider-Man in like Infinity War. So I think that what they're going to do is they're going to start teasing him in the Marvel Universe. I feel like you're going to see like J. Jonah Jameson or like the Daily Bugle and or just Spider-Man reports, like, Tony Stark reading the newspaper and he sees something about Spider-Man. I think they're going to slowly ease him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think that we're not going to really see Spider-Man until Infinity War. And I still think even when we do see him, he's going to have a muted role. If Sony is still going to want to do the major Spider-Man movies, I think they're just going to lend Marvel Spider-Man for their team-up films. I would love to see a Spider-Man Daredevil either television show, Netflix, or a movie. Yeah. I want to see from now on, I just want to see team-ups movies with Spider-Man. I just want to see Spider-Man is at his best is the way he reacts to other characters, both heroes and villains, because he's such an asshole, drops so many jokes. I just want to see him interact with other characters. Enough of the solo shit. We want to see him right. So I want to see a team up movie with Daredevil or team up TV series with Daredevil. I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. I'm looking forward to Daredevil too.
Oh yeah, Daredevil. That's a whole nother podcast. I think that shit's gonna be epic. And some people are nervous about it. I don't know why they're nervous. This one looks great. But anyway, P.SO here with Kevito. Thanks for holding it down with me on today's Nerdcast.
Hasta luego.
We're gonna be coming back to you with a lot of different stuff. Had fun talking about Spider-Man today. And yeah, man, make sure you check out the Facebook. Facebook is popping. Make sure you check out the YouTube. Please subscribe. And yeah, man, we'll be back shortly. All right, nerd era, where nerd culture reigns supreme. Peace.